So you'd like yourself a bit of French chateau Christmas? Then stick around because this video is all about explaining French Christmas traditions and also how to implement traditions into your own Christmas and how you can make a French chateau Christmas in your home, even though you do not live in a chateau. If you don't know me, I'm Amadeus, I'm 37 years old. I live in the most rural area of France in Charente-Limousin, and I own this half of a medieval chateau. There are my neighbors. They own the other half. Somebody's falling asleep right next to the fire. We just came back from the walk. Oh gosh, Aniki feels so hot. Oh, and she's just like sitting next to the fire, and I'm also like, I had to sit down for a bit. It's so cold. The wind is so cold now. I mean, it's warm in the sun, but once the wind hits you, it's like not nice. Thinking of making myself a hot chocolate. I'm going to enjoy my chocolat chaud now. Oh, it's so nice. Made with real chocolate. Oh. We're heading into my garage because I store all my Christmas decorations over there. So first of all, I want to at least start decorating a tiny bit. And I have wreaths for my gates that we're going to look for in my workshop. Welcome to the Chateau workshop. And up there, as you can maybe guess, there's all my Christmas stuff there. So let's have a look together if we can find some stuff here. Not going to install the candy canes yet. What I will take though is this bag. And this is an epic fail. Let me show you in more natural light. So I have used natural materials only. And although my structure with the wreath is all intact, I mean, obviously my pine needles are dissolving. So, yeah. I mean, look, it's my snow. So I'll need to take those apart and then redo them. And I really don't want to use plastic, so I'll probably use, once again, I'll try to find something. But then maybe in December again, because I think to do it right now before I leave is not going to be such a smart idea. As you can see, I'm fantastically prepared for this video. You know what? I could just keep those wreaths and leave them for Halloween next year because that's how they look. But there is one wreath that isn't so bad. And that's the door wreath. So that's the wreath I made initially for my door. And I think I want to install it on the door. I still don't know how exactly. So what I'm thinking is actually using this edge of the door to put something on there, you know, that this way I can use it and it will be hidden. So maybe we can put in some sort of small nail. We can look if we can find something in the workshop. Like this, it will be invisible and we can use it every year. 43.5, right? 43.5, 40, somewhere around here. I love the way the colors pop against the color of the door now, because before it was rarely visible because the door was brown, and now with the color James of Little Green, it's just like so beautiful. So great. I'm sorry this was such an epic fail before. I thought we'd really like install the cute wreaths, but I will have to think about the wreath future and maybe find, if I can find good fake ones, but that's the problem. Usually it's really badly looking fake ones, so I prefer to use the real ones and redo them every year. Christmas is a time that is usually very stressful for everyone, and everyone always has so many problems around Christmas, because Christmas is a time also not only of enjoyment and fun, but it's for a lot of people it's time of anxieties and of fears and of confronting your parents, being back at home, feeling like a child. And all of these components together can maybe feel overwhelming with Christmas sometimes. And I do know that from myself. And I think I found a way to make Christmas special for myself. I was never a Christmas person until I came to the chateau. But now I absolutely love Christmas, and I would love to have more time actually than I will have this year to decorate and just to spend time at the chateau. But this year is just not possible with so many projects going on. But I think that it's all about the vibe and the coziness, and that's how you can create your perfect chateau-y French Christmas. I think the French are, and that's the thing about the French in general, if you look at French interior design, it's all about finding a right balance. Also, if you look at chic fashion in Paris in general, I think it's always about finding a good balance between minimalism and maximalism, about going all out. And I think it's also a lot about quality. It's about the quality of the product and not necessarily buying a lot of less is more. In that aspect, I find I'd rather collect over time and then have lots of like nice things. And I'm not talking, things don't necessarily need to be expensive to be nice. They can be cheap, but I think it's where they're from, you know? It's like, are they handcrafted? Are they from your area? So lots of areas around France have Christmas markets where they sell things that people made from the communities. All these little things are actually like handmade. They have a much higher value, I find, than anything that you would buy that is basically some kind of plastic thing that comes all the way from somewhere which has been mass produced and is not necessarily maybe the nicest thing to have in your home, you know? I think it's about building this kind of inventory of beautiful things to surround you all year long, and also for Christmas. That's kind of the same thing. French Christmas is an elaborate feast. It's a feast that's celebrated in the family first and foremost. Like I said before about the quality of the produce, there's a lot of emphasis on this. And what you would find normally at a very French Christmas dinner that can last for hours up until the morning hours of the 25th of December, because it starts on the 24th after midnight mass. You have lots of champagne, you have lots of fruits de mer, which is basically anything from the sea. Seashells, crabs, mussels, oysters, you name it. It's like people spend fortunes on this, and they really feast on these things for more than one day even. They use the leftovers to then eat them the day after and the day after sometimes to make new dishes out of it. Also, what is quite known is foie gras. You would have it also for Christmas. And I mean, we're in France, elaborate cheese platters. All of this is not for me because I'm vegan, but I try to do kind of my own version of it. You know, I have other traditions, and I talked about my traditions in the Vlogmas 2023 episodes. So I will link it somewhere here about the traditions that I have, which are very Polish inspired. But I found one tradition that is so similar to Poland, and I'm gonna take my laptop for this one because I did find it and I researched it, and I was like, wow. So the Provence has a thing, and it's known as les 13 desserts de Noël. And it's really funny because it reminds me of the 12 dishes that you have in Poland. So it's usually served after midnight mass on Christmas Eve, and it symbolizes Jesus and the 12 apostles at Last Supper. It's exactly the same thing in Poland. And traditionally it's left for 3 days on the table, standing on the table. And these 13 desserts include the 4 beggars, les 4 mendiants. It's walnuts or hazelnuts, dry figs, almonds and raisins. Then dates, often stuffed with marzipan. Number 3 is nougat blanc, representing the good. Nougat noir, representing the evil. So both white and dark nougat. Quince paste or jam. Calisson d'Aix a traditional provincial candy. I will probably put it somewhere here. Candied citron, oranges or clementines. Melon d'Espagne, a type of sweet preserved melon. La pompe à l'huile, an olive oil bread flavored with orange flower water. The remaining items can vary by family or local tradition, it says here. And this custom is an important part of provincial Christmas celebrations, reflecting the region's culinary heritage. So you see, it's really crazy. And in comparison to that, in Poland, you have the 12 dishes for Christmas Eve dinner. And then you get, symbolizing the 4 seasons, for walnuts, an orange, an apple, and I think what's the other one? I think it's also clementines that you would get. I mean, all these things that you would get, like, that were very, very special around that time. So just to give you an idea of how a Christmas dinner could be like if you wanted to recreate your own version of a French Christmas dinner. You know, France is very religious, or France has a lot of Catholic inhabitants, also other religions, but it's where all these traditions just stem from, is Catholicism. So it's quite similar to maybe Italian, to Poland, to all the Catholic or mainly Catholic states. So there's the nativity scene. Also coming from the Alsace, there's a big cultural Christmas heritage, kind of, because that's where the sapin de Noël, the Christmas tree, is originated from. In that region, from the Alsace, it's spread all over France, and the Alsace is still to this day known for its elaborate, beautiful Christmas market. Strasbourg is a beautiful, amazing Christmas market. It's almost like the Christmas markets in Germany. It has a very steeped culture. Here in the southwest, where I live, you find Christmas markets, but they are mostly just one weekend and then they're gone, and they don't have this elaborately decorated villages with lots of little booths and stands where you can buy stuff. Usually it's just like a little town hall thing, and there's more things that is more about artisanal goods that you can buy. In Germany and also in Strasbourg and the Alsace, you can find a lot of different foods that you can try, a lot of things like, you know, grilled champignon, you have the vin chaud. It's a lot about coming together in this dark time and lighting it up. Another fun fact is that the Strasbourg Christmas market originates back to 1570. So it's a really, really old Christmas market. What I find really interesting is when it starts exchanging and how you can fit your own traditions in with other traditions. And I think that's when we enrich ourselves. And that's why I think also other religions, other beliefs, other traditions are so interesting to look at. And that's when we actually, if we combine all of these things, it can just get a much nicer festivity to have, right? So how should you decorate? How should you do Christmas? I can't tell you. It's like, I think it's gonna be so different for everyone. And this is so lovely, right? That we are all so different and that we embrace all this. And I think what's most important around Christmas is sharing kindness and love and empathy. And I think if we really go out and share all of this with one another and we respect and accept one another, I think we'll be a huge step closer to actually achieving something and actually being at peace with ourselves and with one another as well. So that's what I find sometimes, is that we get very lost in this whole craziness of Christmas. And I tend to do this as well because we've got families coming, we've got lots of things to organize. And I think what we sometimes forget is that we lose out of sight what actually this is. And I'm not a religious person. I grew up religious, but not crazy religious. I'm from a Lutheran minority in Poland. but I have resigned from church. So I do believe in my kind of version of a God, but I do not believe in the institution of the church. I find it's really important to find your own way in celebrating, in also realizing that everything is love around us, and that if we love one another, we actually can achieve so much more, and we can just, you know, provide people with kindness. So this is the words I want to leave you with. I want to leave you with lots of kindness and love for this season. And well, we still have a few episodes coming out. I have worked a lot this year to grow my YouTube channel and to share it and to build this wonderful community that we're having here. And I find that this community thrives of exactly all those values. And I'm very, very thankful for all of you following me along. And in the next few episodes, we'll be decorating the house for Christmas finally. And we'll also be setting up a little Christmas market at the chateau for the neighbors and for other people to come and join us and have a last drink before we all calm down a bit. That's my way of saying thank you to the community, and thank you for being there. Thank you for supporting my ideas. And I hope you find ways to thank your communities as well. I can only say I am very grateful for having you in my life, and I shall see you in the next video. Until then, it's à bientôt et au revoir from the southwest of France. Bisous and bye! I'm closing the shutters right now, but look. The sunset is so beautiful.